All right, we have some Lakers drama right there. You know, we have a video basically talking about the what's going on with LeBron and Jeanie Buss. You know, because obviously I don't know if you guys. I mean, I take it that you guys have heard. You know, basically by now, there's basically some shots that have been thrown by Jeanie. You know, towards LeBron. You know, she said honestly a lot of things about him for real, and I mean, the ones that I can recall, I think I can recall her talking about how LeBron, didn't want to take, accountability for, what happened with Russell Westbrook. Stuff like she said things about Bronny, how, LeBron was not grateful enough that they drafted him despite, his health concerns and, the fact that he averaged like 4 points, like in college or whatever. I definitely agree with those things, right there. But I mean, she said a whole bunch of other things that I can't really recall. I don't. I mean, let's hope that this guy right there explains to us everything that she actually said. But yeah, I mean,
saving a floundering.
But I'm just really wondering, like, what exactly happened between these two in order for her to finally start, spilling the beans like this about him, like, in order for her to finally start being real about how she she felt towards, what LeBron was doing, like what exactly happened between those two? Something must have happened. I don't know.
Franchise stumbling about at times his outsized ego, about not wanting to sign him to a contract extension or feeling that he wasn't grateful enough. Even talking about trading him at one point. This is before he got his no trade clause in 2024. So
right. ESPN just dropped one of
wanting to sign him to a private grumbling from Jeanie about the way it was framed that LeBron was saving a floundering franchise, stumbling about at times his outsized ego, about not wanting to sign him to a contract extension or feeling that he wasn't grateful enough. Even talking about trading him at one point before he got his no trade clause in 2024. So
right. ESPN.
So outsized ego, him not liking the fact that,
just dropped one of the
like the contracts and all.
Insane reports I've ever seen about the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this might be the messiest behind the scenes story we've gotten about an NBA franchise in years. We're talking about family drama, but not just any type of family drama. This is like the NBA's version of Succession. We're talking backstabbing. We're talking about Jeanie Buss allegedly telling her own brother that he should have never been born. And oh yeah, we're talking about LeBron James.
Bro, what?
The owner of the Lakers apparently wanted to trade him to the Clippers. The Clippers, bro. They're crosstown rivals. But here's the thing that really got me thinking. Why did this story just drop today? We're exactly 2 weeks out from the trade deadline on February 5th. LeBron James just got snubbed as an all-star starter for the first time in 21 years. And now suddenly...
Snubbed?
ESPN drops this nuclear bomb of a story? Yeah, something is going on here. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what. Now, if you guys missed it, we've been having a generational month on Prize Picks, making the most out of their promotions to make some real serious money. Dive into in the description down below. It's the second link from the top where it says Get Prize Picks here. And thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. So before we dive into the LeBron stuff, which I promise is going to blow your mind, I need to give you guys some context on just how deep this rabbit hole goes, because this isn't just about basketball. This is about a family empire falling apart. First, we got to give credit where credit's due. This article is from Baxter Holmes of ESPN, and it is some absolutely remarkable journalism. He basically just exposed the entire Buss family for years of infighting, backstabbing, and what some might call betrayal. Now, a brief history lesson here, guys. Dr. Jerry Buss bought the Lakers back in 1979 for $67.5 million, and his dream, his legacy, was to keep this team in the Buss family for generations. He literally asked his kids before he died in 2013 whether they wanted to sell. And you know what they all said? They said if they had that kind of money, they would just buy the Lakers. That's how much this franchise meant to them. You fast forward to last year, the Lakers sold for $10 billion to Mark Walter. This is the man who currently owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jerry Buss is probably rolling in his grave right now, but here's where it gets really messy. You see, Jerry Buss had 6 kids. The 4 oldest are Johnny, Jim, Jeanie, and Janie. Then there's a big age gap, and you got the 2 younger half-brothers, Joey and Jesse. We're talking almost 30 years between the oldest and the youngest. When
30.
Jerry died in 2013, Jeanie became the controlling owner, and according to this ESPN report, sources say that Jerry Buss was basically the glue that was holding a broken family together, because once he was gone, it got really ugly. In 2017, Jeanie fired her own brother Jim as president of basketball operations. Jim and Johnny tried to fight back with lawyers and get her removed. Jeanie won that battle and consolidated her power. But here's where it gets really dark. In 2019, after a news conference for Anthony Davis, Jesse called Jeanie to ask about something Rob Pelinka said, and the conversation apparently took a very disturbing turn. You see, Jeanie had recently learned that her parents had made a promise that Jerry wouldn't have any more kids after their 4th child together. But then Jerry had Joey and Jesse with another woman in the mid-80s, and according to multiple sources close to the family, Jeanie looked at her brother Jesse and told him, "You should have never been born."
Damn.
Bro, I don't care what the backstory is, that's your brother. That's your own flesh and blood. And according to this report,
that's crazy, bro. Whoa. Hey.
that moment was, quote, the beginning of the end. One person on the team who became aware of the remarks said, "It's mind-blowing that she would say that. I don't care who you are, you don't say that to somebody else." And it didn't stop there. When the sale to Mark Walter went through last October, Jeanie fired everyone. All her siblings got let go from their positions with the team.
Wow.
Joey and Jesse got fired in November, just weeks into the season, while the Lakers were 11-4. Jim, Johnny, Janie are all gone. The only bus still working for the Lakers is Jeanie. And that brings us to the part you guys really want to hear about: LeBron James. According
Fired
to the
everybody, bro.
ESPN report, Jeanie Buss didn't just turn on her family, she turned on LeBron James himself. Jeanie privately grumbled about what she felt was LeBron's outsized ego and the overt control that he and Clutch Sports, which represents both James and Anthony Davis, exerted over the organization at times. Now let me break this down because this is a lot here. First of all, Jeanie apparently didn't like how LeBron was considered a savior for the Los Angeles Lakers when he arrived in 2018. She didn't like that the narrative was he chose the Lakers, rather than the Lakers' leadership getting credit for landing him. Team sources have long said that LeBron's...
I mean, when you consider the fact that the Lakers had not even made the playoffs for years before LeBron got there, you know, I mean,
camp actually told them as early as 2017 that he was coming. So in her...
Team sources had an amendment for years at Jay. Oh, okay.
mind, they knew he was coming, but he got all the glory. But here's where things really started to fall apart between them: the Russell Westbrook trade. You see, in July of 2021, the Lakers were very close to trading Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell to Sacramento for Buddy Hield. They would have kept Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and they would have had shooting around LeBron and AD. But according to multiple reports, LeBron preferred Russell Westbrook. He wanted a third star. He wanted someone to share the playmaking.
This was a bad idea, bro. When LeBron and Westbrook literally had the same style of play, both, ball dominant players, like, come on. And this was LeBron's team, not Russ. So it's like it was really just common sense that Westbrook was gonna be demoted to a role player, And that right there was really bad because Westbrook was not used to this in his entire career. He was used to like being the main guy on his team, and having all the great stats and everything, but never winning. But yeah, like and him coming to a team like that's not his and being demoted to a role player, it was really just like I literally predicted this whole thing was gonna happen. Like. So, what I'm saying? I had a few friends who was looking at me crazy when I said this, but hey, when I turned out to be right about that, bro, they did not know what to say, bro. But whatever. But yeah, the thing about Westbrook is that, bro, LeBron was really the one who honestly pushed for, he pushed for this to happen, and it says it right there. LeBron James reportedly preferred Westbrook trade over Buddy Hield. He pushed for that, and when everything went sideways with the Lakers, it's like. It just felt like LeBron, scapegoated Westbrook, and like all the blame was shifted towards him, and when in all reality LeBron kind of like deserved some of the blame, for this whole thing, not all of it, because at the end of the day, it's not LeBron's fault that Westbrook was hitting the side of the backboard, but like he still deserved like some of the blame, for pushing this thing through, but. But yeah, so I can understand, like if there wasn't no accountability on his part for this specifically, I can see.
And the Lakers pivoted at the last minute to get Russ instead. Dave McMenamin reported that LeBron was in favor of the Westbrook move over the Buddy Hield move. James and Davis reportedly encouraged the Lakers front office to go all in for Westbrook rather than Rob Pelinka's first choice in Buddy Hield. And we know how that turned out. The Lakers went 33-49, missed the playoffs entirely. Their championship window was slammed shut with that core. It was a disaster. And according to ESPN, Jeanie was furious because she felt like...
Oh my god, it was a disaster, man. The thing about it was a disaster that season, bro. I remember like it was yesterday, bro. It wasn't even that long ago, like what, 3-4 years ago? But damn.
Like LeBron washed his hands of his role in that
yeah, seems to wash his hands off his role, and he quit. Damn.
And he wouldn't take accountability for pushing for Westbrook. Now, to be honest, I've covered the Russell Westbrook story ad nauseum, and I myself have noticed that at first the blame was placed on LeBron James, and later on the narrative shifted and the blame was placed on Rob Pelinka. Now, here's the crazy part. In 2022, after the Westbrook disaster, multiple people told ESPN that Jeanie privately mused about not giving LeBron James an extension. And get this, she even floated the idea of trading him to the Clippers. Bro, imagine LeBron James in a Clippers jersey playing against the Lakers in LA. The basketball world would have absolutely exploded. Sports Illustrated reported that while musing about a trade doesn't mean it came anywhere close to fruition, it's still bonkers to even think about. A team trading LeBron James of their own volition is crazy enough.
Yeah.
James was not quite at the peak of his powers.
Because he does the trading, bro. He is the GM. He is like, crazy, whatever.
2022, but he still was a top 10 player at the very worst. Now, obviously that didn't happen because LeBron eventually got a no-trade clause in his contract in July of 2024. But the fact that Jeanie was even thinking about trading him to the crosstown rivals, that tells you everything about how their relationship had deteriorated.
Yeah.
And just when you think this can't get any worse, Bronny James becomes part of this story. So, when the Lakers drafted Bronny with the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, it was supposed to be this feel-good moment, father and son playing together for the first time in NBA history, historic stuff. But when the Lakers drafted Bronny, Jeanie privately remarked that LeBron should be grateful for such a gesture, but she felt like he wasn't. Now, look, I'm not saying Jeanie is wrong or right here, but think about this from LeBron's perspective. He's brought a championship to this franchise. Yes, I believe that championship counts, even though it was in a bubble. He's brought relevance back to the Lakers after years of missing the playoffs, and now he's supposed to grovel because they used a second-round pick on his son, a pick that was probably going to be a throwaway anyway. And here's the...
because, bro, the thing is that, bro, let's be real, man, like... The thing is that, bro, when you look at Bronny's, like, his health concerns and, like, how he was actually playing in college, and, bro, like, it's like, bro, if it was any other player who didn't have the, the last name James, like, their chances of getting into the NBA during that draft would have been, completely shut down. So it's like, the thing is that, bro, LeBron should he have been more grateful, that specific player was his son and not anyone else? I'll say yes.
Kicker, when it came time to discuss a new contract for LeBron last summer, ESPN says Jeanie seemed more resigned to the fact that they have to do it, almost begrudgingly accepting that they'd take a massive PR hit by not doing so. So she didn't want to extend him, she felt like she had to. That in of itself is kind of crazy to me. Now here's what's been on my mind in regards to this story since it dropped: the timing of all of this. The article comes out on January 21st, 2026. The trade deadline is February 5th. That's exactly 2 weeks away. LeBron just got snubbed from the All-Star starters for the first time in 21 years. The last time he wasn't a starter was his rookie season in 2004, the same year that his son Bronny was born. He missed the first 14 games of the season with sciatica. He's 41 years old old, and now suddenly this bombshell drops exposing that the owner secretly resented him for years. NBC Sports is reporting that league sources say LeBron and the Lakers are expected to part ways this summer. Multiple outlets are saying this could be his final season in purple and gold. So think about this. What if this article is laying the groundwork? What if this is the Lakers side of the story coming out before LeBron potentially walks in free agency? Or what if someone in LeBron's camp wanted this story out there to show that he's not the bad guy in this situation? Because let's be real, when LeBron eventually leaves the Lakers, there's gonna be a narrative war, and this article just fired the first shot. Now, LeBron hasn't directly addressed this report yet, but he did respond in his own way. Shortly after the article dropped, LeBron posted on his Instagram story, and he showed a close-up of his Nike Shut Up and Dribble 23s, which have the words "Still King" on them, and then he commented on his post in all caps, "Still," with the yelling emoji. So he's not saying anything directly, but the message is pretty clear. He's not backing down. He's not apologizing. He's still the king.
He's still the king.
Are 26-16, which is good for 5th in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
LeBron is averaging 22.6 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 6.9 assists on 50.9%
41 years old,
shooting.
man. You gotta appreciate greatness, bro.
At 41 years old, after missing 14 games to start the season. So while Jeanie might have her issues with his outsized ego, the numbers show that he's still one of the best players in the league. But let me zoom out for a second and put all this into perspective. The Lakers missed the playoffs 7 times in the 11th season since Jerry Buss died. Under Jerry, they only missed the playoffs twice in 34 seasons. They won 10 championships under Jerry Buss. They've won 1 since, in 2020, with LeBron leading them. 7 of the franchise's 11 worst seasons in terms of winning percentage have come since Jeanie took over, including the 4 worst. So when Jeanie complains about LeBron's ego or of the franchise's 11 worst seasons in terms of winning percentage have come since Jeanie took over, including the 4 worst. So when Jeanie complains about LeBron's ego or Clutch Sports having too much control, I gotta ask, where was all this energy when the franchise was losing before he got there? The Lakers were irrelevant for 5 straight years before LeBron showed up. 5 years in LA, the second biggest market in basketball. LeBron came in and immediately made them a championship team. Yeah, the Westbrook trade was a mistake, but guess what? Championships wash away a lot of the sins, and LeBron got them one. Now look, if there's anyone that knows LeBron James isn't perfect and has been critical of LeBron James throughout his tenure with the Lakers, it's been me. And maybe his influence over roster decisions has hurt the team at times. But the idea that Jeanie was secretly resentful of him while he was winning games and bringing championships, that's crazy to me. So what happens now?
Damn.
Well, LeBron is in the final year of his contract. He opted into the $52.6 million player option that he had for this season. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of that. I don't think that's the reason why the Lakers struggle at all. It doesn't seem like the Lakers could have used a player like, I don't know, Dorian Finney-Smith coming back as opposed to him joining the Houston Rockets. But again, I digress. After this year, LeBron James can walk. The trade deadline is February 5th. If the Lakers wanted to move pieces to get LeBron some help for one final run, now would be the time. But given everything we just learned, do they even want to do that? The All-Star reserves get announced on February 1st. If coaches don't vote LeBron in, Adam Silver could add him to the roster. The game is literally in LA this year at Intuit Dome. This could be LeBron's
it's in LA this year, damn.
with the Lakers. And then after this season, we could be looking at LeBron James in a different jersey for the first time since 2018. Maybe Miami takes him back for one more run. Maybe he goes to a contender. Maybe he retires. But one thing is clear. The relationship between LeBron and the Lakers organization is not what it seemed. And this ESPN article just pulled back the curtain on years of tension, resentment, and dysfunction.
Secret resentment, bro. Like, what happened, bro?
So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Aside from that,
Why did she decide to start spilling the beans now?
boy Mike, and dropping our mic until our next upload.
Anyways, this is going to be it, for this video. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments. Who do you guys, side with on this whole thing? Jeanie or LeBron? Who is it? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.